Okay. Today, I'm going to talk about section 10.1 curves defined by parametric equations. This is like outline. So definitions of a parametric equation and curve. I want to talk about how we can sketch parametric curves. The third one, I'd like to talk about how to find parametric equations. We have three kind of things today. So this is the definition of parametric equations and curves. So we have one curve is given. So we have the one trace like this. So we have direction of this point. The point is moving from f of a to g of a, f of a, g of a to f of b, g of b. This we have a direction. So how can I express this kind of things? This is like a definition. X equals f of t, y equals g of t. The t is from a to b. So we call parametric equations. So we can use parametric equations. We can express two kind of things. So trace of a point, the exact graph of a point. The second one is we can express the direction of the point, the direction of the point. This is possible. We call t a parameter, f of a, g of a, the initial point, f of b, g of b, this is terminal point, right? This is like exact definition. The next thing, I want to give some examples. Sketch and identify the curve defined by the parametric equations. We have t, x, y. We can make some table. So you can plug some numbers into x and y, find point. This is like the first one. T equals -2. What is x? So what is x? So could you write your answer on the chatting board, please? It's good. You're right. Yes. Thank you, all right, guys. You can plug the -2 into here. So what's like x value? The -2 square minus 2 times -2. Exactly. 4 minus plus 4. We have 8. You're right. X value is 8. What's y value? Yeah, the y value is -1. You can plug -2 into here. So we have -2 plus 1. So we have -1. So we have these two numbers like this. So we have it. The next, you plug -1 into x again. Here, the same. The -1 square minus 2 times -1. So we have 1 plus 2 equals 3. So we have 3. You plug -1 into y value. This is -1 plus 1. We have 0. So this is like idea. You can plug 0. So 0 into here. Plug 0 square minus 2 times 0 is 0. You plug 0 into here, 0 plus 1 equals 1. We have 0.01, like this. Now keep going. Plug 1. Here, the 1 square minus 2 times 1 is -1. The 1 plus 1 is like 2. We have -1 and 2, like this. Plug 2, the same. The 2 square minus 2 times 2, the 4 minus 4 is 0. The 2 plus 1 is only 3. We have 0, 3. Like this. We can plug 3. plug 3 into here, 3 square, negative 2 times 3. This is the same to 9 minus 6 equals 3. What's like y value? 3 plus 1 equals 4. We have 3, 4. The 3, 4, so like this. Plug 4, the same. Plug 4 into t, so we have the 4 square minus 2 times 4. So we have the 16 minus 8 equals 8. You plug 4 into y, the 4 plus 1 equals 5. So we have 8 and 5. So like this. The next, so you have to plug these points on the plane, the xy plane. You can draw xy plane here, like this. So like this, I can draw graph here. Draw the line. You can plot the first one. 8 minus 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Y value is minus 1, negative 1. You can plot here. So in this case, what's the t value? T equals negative 2. You can write this is better. T equals negative 2. So next one is 3, 0. We have 1, 2, 3. This point, the t value equals here, minus 1. The next 0, 1. 0, 1. Here, what's like t value? In this case, t value equals 0. This one. Next, minus 1, 2. We have negative 1, 2. So we have it. So t equals 1. The next, 0, 3. We have 0, 3. Here, this point, the t value equals 2. This one. Next, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. The 4 is here. This one, 3, 4. T equals 3. Right? T equals 3 here. The one more, 8, 5. So 8 is here. This is 5. The point is this one. The t equals 4. Right? T equals 4. You have to connect these whole points by using curve. We can connect this curve. Like this. We can connect this curve like this. So one more. We can like show direction. The t value is negative 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What's like direction? This is the direction. This is arrow direction. This is direction of curve. So we have it. So this is the idea. So for sketching the graph. So we have like this. So what happens? Particle whose position is given by the parametric equations moves along the curve in the direction of the arrow as t increases, right? This whole idea. So one more. What's like a shape of this graph? What do you think? What's like a shape of this graph? The shape? Like a parabola? So what do you think? Is right? The parabola? It's parabola? How can you know? This is a parabola. So do you know? How can you check the shape of this graph is parabola? How can you check this kind of result? it's like the good point, but not sufficient. Because here x equals t squared minus 2t is like quadratic form. The one more important thing is that what's like y? Y is what? Linear. This is like I. So like one example is x equals t squared minus 5. The y equals t squared. So like this. In this case, linear. The not quadratic. Is right. So how can you know this is like parabola or not? So this is the idea. You have to convert. You have to convert. Convert this one. X equals t squared minus 2t. Y equals t plus 1. 2, you can change it only equation of x and y. You can only change the equation of x and y. The f of x, y equal to 0 doesn't have a t value. This is the idea. So you can change. How can you change this kind of things? The first one, y equal to t plus 1 linear function. You have to subtract 1 from both sides. T equals y minus 1. Next, you plug t equals y minus 1 into x. You plug this one into x. So you plug this one into t. Here, what's like x? X equals y minus 1 square minus 2 times y minus 1. The next, simplify. The y minus 1 square is y minus 1 times y minus 1. You can use a for loop. Y times y, y square. What's like outer inner? Y times minus 1 plus minus 1 times y. We have a negative 2y. The last, minus 1 times minus 1 is positive 1. Next, distribute negative 2 to the y and the minus 1. Negative 2y plus 2. So you have to simplify. Y square, this one. Negative 2y is negative 4y. So 4y. The 1 plus 2 is 3. What's that? We have this kind of forms. X equals ay square plus by plus c. So what's that? This is equation of parabola. The equation of parabola. So we have two kinds of graphs from here. So what is like two kinds of graph? A is positive number, graph is open to the right, like this. A is less than 0, open to the left. The graph is like this. We have two kinds of parabolas. So A is positive 1. This is 1 times y squared. A equals 1. We have like this one. One more. How can you find the vertex? You can change it. This one to the standard form. The standard form is A times y minus k squared plus h. We can change it like this one. We can change it like this. In this case, what is vertex? What's a vertex? What's x component? What's y component? What do you think? X equals 8 times y minus k squared plus h. So what's it like a vertex of this parabola? You can find exact vertexes, right? They're like this. How can you find this vertex? Here, what's that? Do you have any idea? I'm gonna give you the one more thing is here. Y equals 8 times x minus h squared plus k. This is parabola. What's your vertex in this case? What's the vertex? The vertex is here, H and K. This is the vertex, H and K. The H is like a positive number. We have graph is like this. This vertex is, this is H, this is K. How can you find the H? H value is related to X, K value is related to Y. So what's like a vertex of this one? So what's X value? This is like interchange root of X and Y. So related X value is, this is H. Here, what's like Y value? Y minus K. We have K. So we have, this is H, this is K. This is idea. So how can change this one to the standard form? A times Y minus K square plus H. How can change it? So I want to use completing the square. So what's like a completing the square? So you can choose coefficient of Y minus 4. We have negative 4. Always divide the coefficient of Y by 2. The next, square this result. This is negative 2 square is positive 4. The next step. This is y square minus 4y. You have to add and subtract this result number. So resulting number. You add 4, you subtract 4, you have to keep 3. This is idea. The next, you have to factor. How can you factor? Y squared minus 4y plus 4. How can you factor? Do you know factor form? Y squared minus 4y plus 4. Could you run your answer? Okay, thank you. What's that? So we have y minus 2 squared, right? And simplify. This is what? Negative 1. What's it like a vertex? The vertex is, as I said before, the related x value is minus 1. The related y value is just 2. Minus 1, 2 is vertex. So you can check. This is minus 1 and 2 is vertex or not. So you can going back to previous graph. This is very clear. So like this. Yes, here. What's that? This point is 2. This is exactly minus 1. Yes, vertex is minus 1, 2. This vertex is minus 1 and 2. Yes, true. Okay, this is the idea. How can I sketch the graph? So we have two kind of things. The first one, you can make a table. You can choose t values, plug into x and y, find the all points, next plug all points, next connect these whole points. The second step, how can you identify this graph? You can convert x equals f of t, y equal to g of t to f of x, y equal to 0 and check this graph is right or not. This is the whole idea. I want to give the one more example. The what curve is represented by the following parametric equations. X equals cosine of t, y equals sine of t. T is between 0 and 2 pi. So let me see. So we have the parametric equation is like the trigonometric function, the sine, cosine, tangent, or something like that. So not tangent, the sine and cosine, usually sine and cosine function. What's like the best way for finding exact point? So don't choose like a pi over 6, pi over 3, the pi over 4, the 5, pi over 6, and so on. You have to spend a long time for sketching the graph. One good idea is the point is given, the like this one, like t is between 0 and 2 pi. The best way is you can choose 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. You can choose these points and connect. This is very sufficient for sketching the graph. So don't choose a pi over 6, pi over 3. You can just draw the graph some a little bit accurate. by using the more points, but you don't need it. You don't need it. We need 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, and 2 pi. This is idea. So you can plug 0. You can plug 0 into here. What is the cosine of 0? Do you know cosine of 0? Yeah, cosine of 0 is 1. You can plug 0 into y. What's it like sine of 0? Yeah, the sine of 0 is, yeah. Thank you, all guys. The 0. It's good. So 1, 0. The next pi over 2. You plug pi over 2 into cosine. What's the cosine pi over 2? You're right. What's the sine pi over 2? The sine pi over 4. The sine pi over 4 is the square root of 2 over 2. The sine pi over 2 is 1. The sine pi over 2 is 1. Yeah, sine pi over 2 is 1. What's pi? What's cosine of pi? The cosine of pi is, yep, negative 1. What's sine pi? It's 0. So what's cosine 3 pi over 2? Do you know cosine 3 pi over 2? Yep. What's like sine 3 pi over 2? Yep. What is cosine 2 pi? That's good. What is it like sine 2 pi? Yep. So we have it. So we have these numbers next to, you have to plug these whole points. So like this. So what's that? We have 1, 0. This is what's like t. T equals 0. Here, 0, 1. T equals pi over 2. Here, minus 1, 0. It's minus 1, 0. T equals pi. The 3 pi over 2, 0 minus 1. So here, t equals 3 pi over 2. So 2 pi 1, 0. Again, this is 2 pi. So this is direction 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi. Is right? So my question, what is like a shape of graph? What is shape of graph? What is shape of graph? The circle. How can you know? It's a circle. How can you know this is a circle? How can you know? The same. You have to convert x equals cosine of t and y equals sine of t to f of xy equal to 0. So what does it mean? You have to eliminate t values. So here, x equals cosine of t, y equals sine of t. You can square both sides. You can square both sides. So x next to you add these two equations. X squared plus y squared equals cosine squared plus sine squared. What is cosine squared plus sine squared? What is cosine squared plus sine squared? Yes, this is 1. 1 is like exact same to 1 squared. What's it like x squared plus y squared equals 1 squared? This is equation of a circle. This is equation of circle. What's it like a center? Center is, what's center? 0, 0. The radius is 1. This is 1 radius. We have it. Yes, graph is like this. We have circle. This is direction. What's like direction? The direction is counterclockwise direction. Counterclockwise direction. So one more. What's like starting point? At 0. So this point is like t equal to 0, starting point. This is initial point. Also, last one, 2 pi is the same point. This is also terminal point. The terminal point. The same. This is whole idea for sketching the graph. So let me see. Was it like some the interchange sine and cosine? What happens? I want to give another example is like this one. X equals sine of t. The y equals cosine of t. T is between 0 and 2 pi. So what's the graphic? So let me see. What's that? You can different is, this is what? X value. This is y value. This is an interchange x and y. So you can just sketch the graph. To what happens? Graph is like this. The 0, 1. The 0, 1 is here. 0, 1. In this case, t value equal to 0 here. The 1, 0. 1, 0 is here. The t is pi over 2. Next one, 0 and minus 1. 0 and minus 1 is here. The t value equals pi. So 3 pi over 2 minus 1, 0. This one is t is the 3 pi over 2 is here. The 2 pi 0, 1 again. So what's that? The shape is graph again because x equals sine of t. The y equals cosine of t. Scale both sides. And add these two equations, we have the same things. X squared plus y squared equals 1, the same. So graph is circle. The same circle, same unit circle. What's like difference? Only difference is direction. Direction is what? Clockwise direction. In this case, clockwise direction. It's a difference. The shape is the same. Only difference is direction. Direction. The one more. Was it like initial point and terminal point? This one. The initial and terminal point is 0, 1. The change. This is like initial point or terminal point. Also terminal point. The terminal point. This is like difference. The trace. The exact shape of graph is same circle, but only difference is direction. That's good. This is like idea for sketching the graph. The one more. I can change it. This problem is like this. The was it like the t is from 0 to 2 pi. The point move along the curve only once. Only once. I can change it 4 pi. What happens? The was it like a difference? The t is between 0 and 2 pi. T is between 0 and 4 pi. 4 pi. So what is the difference between two different domains? Do you know what is the difference? So like this, t is between 0 and 4 pi. What happens? This is, you can keep going this procedure. We know this kind of things. Point moves along the circle twice. Change 6 pi. The point moves along the circle 3 times. The like total number of rotation. This one is right. You can decide total number of rotation. Okay, so this is like a whole idea for solving this kind of problem. So next, like this. Same things. So next one. We have some the opposite way. Find the parametric equation for the circle with the center HK and radius R. So do you know what's the equation of a circle with the center HK and radius R? Do you know what's that? So like this. So this is like a general equation. This circle, center, this is H, this is K, center is HK, the radius is like R. What's like equation of the circle? Always x minus h square plus y minus k square equal to R square. This is equation of circle. So you need to find general one. What's like a parametric equations of this circle? I want to use some of the previous result. What's like a previous result? Previous result is x equals cosine of t. The y equals sine of t. So from here, what's that? We have this result. You can just scale both sides. Remember, x squared equals cosine square, y squared equals sine square. You added these two equations, x squared plus y squared equals 1. We have a unit circle. Center 0, 0, radius is 1, is right? So how can you find the equation of a circle with the center 0, 0, the radius r? So what is x, what is y? So my question is, so center is what? 0, 0. The radius is r. So how can change it? These two parametric equation. How can change? X equals to cosine of t, y equals to sine of t. So radius is 1. How can change it? Radius r. So do you have any idea? So what is the parametric equation for the circle with center 0, 0, radius r? So what's it like equation? Parametric equation. The idea is not difficult. So we can then multiply cosine t by r. So like this one. X equals r cosine of t, y equals r sine of t. So what's that? Scale both sides. X squared equals r squared cosine square. So y squared equals r squared sine square. You add these two equations. What's that? X squared plus y squared equals r squared cosine square plus r squared sine square is r squared equals like a common factor, factor out r squared times cosine square of t plus sine square of t. Exactly r squared. So what happens? We have x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Yes, exactly circle. So with the center 0, 0, radius r. This is like the whole idea for finding this one. So next thing. So from here, how can you change center HK? How can change? So let me see. Was it like circle of this one, the center 0, 0, radius r, we can draw here. This is circle is like this. How can you do that? You have to move this one, this circle to the right, h unit is right. You can move to the right, h unit, and move up k unit is right. You move h unit, move up k unit. We have this result. So how can you move? X equals I cosine of t, y equals I sine of t to the right hand side h unit of k unit. This is either is not difficult. So x is what? Only r cosine of t is like center 0, 0 form. You can add what? H, so like this. So y, you have to move up k unit. So that's it. This is the whole idea. So this is exactly this equation. So they're not difficult. You have to subtract h from both sides from here. So we have x minus h equals r cosine of t. Subtract k from the second equation. The y minus k equals r sine of t. You can scale both sides. And scale both sides. What happens? Next, add. What's that? This is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. Y minus k squared equals, what's the right hand side? R cosine t squared plus r sine t squared is here. So we have this one and r squared. So we have exactly same procedure from the previous problem. So we have r squared. So that's it. So we have same equation. So what's like a parametric equation? We have like this one in the right. X equals what? H plus r times cosine of t. The y is k plus r times sine of t. I want to sum the point move along the curve along the circle only once, so I can give restriction. T value is what? The 0 to 2 pi. You can just sketch the graph. What happens? Graph is like this. Here, yes, we have circle. Here, this is exactly h. This is the k. So what happens? At this point, the same. T value is what? 0. This point, t value is pi over 2. This point, t value equals pi. This point, t value equals 3 pi over 2. So this point again, 2 pi. What's like a direction? Direction is counterclockwise direction. This is ideal for finding parametric equation. So if you want to use another direction, the direction is clockwise direction, we have another possibility. How can you do that? X equals h plus r times sine of t. Y equals k plus r times cosine of t. You can change it like this. And t is between 0 and 2 pi. What's the graph? Graph is same. We have same graph. Graph is same. The same. This is h. This is k. What's like difference? Only here. The t value equal to 0, this point. T equals pi over 2, this point. Here, the t equals pi. Here, t equals 3 pi over 2. T equals 2 pi. Direction doesn't change. Direction is like this one. Clockwise direction. Like clockwise direction. So we have the two kinds of parametric equations are possible. So how many possibility for finding parametric equation of this circle? Exactly, infinity many. So you can change it, sine and cosine. Sometimes change it like starting point. So one example is x equals h plus r times cosine of t minus pi over 2. Y equals k plus r times sine t minus pi over 2. So in this case, direction doesn't change, but the starting point and terminal point is changed. are changed. Yeah, this is like whole idea. We have the infinity man. This is whole idea for solving this problem. So like this. Yep. The next, like the last example, the sketch the curve with the parametric equation x equals sine of t, y equals sine square of t. So how can you sketch the graph? The same. You can make a table. First one, I want to check. So what kind of shape do we have it? So here, so what's that? So you have to plug. Sine of t is like x, you plug into here. That's it. What's that? We have y equals x squared. What's the shape of this graph? Parabola. We know parabola. What's like domain of x? What's the possible value of x? So we have this one. So what's like a domain of y equals x squared? What's the possible value of x equals sine of t? What's like a possible value of x? So the all real number? X is all real numbers? Or what's like a possible values? What's the domain of y equals x squared? So how can you find? Yes, -1 to 1. It's good. -1 to 1. So because x equals what? Sine of t. This is the reason. X equals sine of t. Sine function is always between -1 and 1. This is domain. Domain is -1 to 1. -1 to 1. So you can sketch the graph. What happens? The graph is, yes, parabola. But domain is what? -1 to 1. Only here. That's it. Only this part. This part is exactly the parametric curve of x equals sine of t, y equals sine square of t. The next, so we can check direction. How can you find the direction? You have to use table. You can plug t. The t value is any real number, because we don't have any restriction of this parametric equations. I don't choose any number. I can start with one simple number, -pi over 2. You plug -pi over 2 into sine function. Here, what is sine of -pi over 2? Do you know what is sine -pi over 2? Yes, the -1. Was it like sine square? You can plug -1 into here. So what's that? -1 squared is 1. So we have 1. The jitter. What is sine jitter? Sine of 0 is, yes, jitter. You plug 0 into here. So what does it mean? Here, x equals sine of 0. Sine of 0 is 0. So we can plug this 0 into here. So we have 0 squared equal to also 0. We have 0. Pi over 2, the sine pi over 2 is 1. Sine pi over 2 squared, the 1 squared is 1. The pi, 0, is right? Sine pi is 0. You plug 0 into sine. The sine pi squared is 0 squared equals 0. You can plug 3 pi over 2. What's that? So what's the sine 3 pi over 2? the minus 1, you're right. You plug minus 1 into sine. The sine 3 pi over 2 squared is minus 1 squared. Minus 1 squared equals 1. So we have to keep going this procedure. So what happens? So I can just sketch the graph here. So graph is like this. Can I sketch the graph? So first one, negative pi over 2, minus 1, 1. This one, what's like a t-value? T-value is negative pi of 2 here. So 0, 0. This point, the t-value equal to 0. So here, t equal to 0. So 1, 1. This one, 1, 1. What's the t-value? T-value equals pi over 2. The 0, 0 again at pi. T equals pi. The minus 1, 1 here, 3 pi over 2. You have to keep going. Was it like 2 pi here? Origin. The was it 5 pi over 2? 1, 1. Was it 3 pi? 0, 0 again. Was it like 7 pi over 2? Here. So keep going. 4 pi again, 9 pi over 2, and so on. So what happens? Graph is exactly one part of parabola. So what happens? Point moves back and forth. So like so. So back and forth, infinitely open along the curve from minus 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. So this is like idea. Back and forth infinitely many times. So point moves back and forth, infinitely open along the parabola from minus 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 because sine of t is period. It's right. The move back and forth infinitely open. Hey, so this is the all for today lecture. So if you have any question, could you write your question on the chatting board? If you don't have any question, you can leave this live session. So thank you for attending the today class. I appreciate about your attend. So thank you very much. So yeah, I just waiting. If you have any question, write your question on the chatting board. If you don't have any question, you can leave this live session. So thanks. Was it like a GSG? What does it mean, the GSG? You said the guided study group? Is right, guided study group? Yeah, this is like a good question. I just check your question on the chatting, the discussion board. So I asked to the Olivia and the Kasha again. So I didn't get any reply. I just waiting. So if I get this kind of things from the Olivia and the Kasha, I just talk to you. Thank you very much for reminding me that this kind of the issue. Thank you. Yeah, I just only send email to you if I get the result. Okay, thank you. You're welcome.